Hello, everybody. Welcome to the channel. My name is Lindsay, and this is Life.W.Lindsay. Today, we are going to be doing a kitten chat. I am attempting to do this front-facing and vertically, so let's hope this works. I was going to do a whip-in chat on a canvas that I filmed an unboxing for, but I've not yet put up. So here we are. We're going to do this. I am rocking my little Halloween crown. The shirt is from Kartoon Mafia. I'll tag that down below. So, if you guys are new here, hi, welcome. My name is Lindsay. I do mainly diamond painting and crafting content. I do lots of things here. I have a tablet here, super fancy, very high tech. It's like a $100 tablet. I don't even think it was that much. And I actually have been sending myself notes so that I can keep track with what I've been doing throughout the week, so I can share that with you guys. If you are new here, hi, welcome. Make sure that you hit the like button, subscribe, notification bell, all that fun stuff. You know, I'll remind you at the end of the video. Don't you worry. Here's my new tattoo. It's not real, in case I had to actually specify that. This is me, like real life. This is my neck fan. So if you guys have never seen my face and you're like, what the? This is my face. Anyway, so how are you guys doing? If you've been here before, hi, welcome. You guys already know what to expect. So I am currently kitting down Warm Witch, and then I will be kitting up City Girl for the Starry Skies DP event hosted by Virgil. I will do my best to link as much as I can. I will link the unboxing for City Girl up in the eye. So, how are you guys doing? It is currently Halloween, where I am. I guess it's currently Halloween where everyone is. That's not true. That's not true. Yep, Australia's in the future. They're already in November. So shout out to all my Australian friends. What's it like? Are you guys counting down to my birthday already?
Thanksgiving yet?
So anyway, on Monday, if you guys see me look over to the side, that's because I have my notes here. And I'm not crafty enough to like simultaneously do this and that and all that other stuff. Also, the earrings are from Shop Kindred Together. Her shop is temporarily on hold. Her and her whole family relocated across the country. And I am very impatiently waiting for them to open up. I love her earrings. But these are like wooden studs and they're perfect for all of my Halloween looks. Which I will get to all of our Halloween festivities, but I just want to tell you guys, Briar, my daughter, if you guys are new here, I have an almost 4-year-old. She's decided that Halloween is a verb. So she's like, can we go do Halloween? Yes, we can go do Halloween. So anything relating to Halloween is let's do Halloween. So, but we dressed up and I'll show you guys everything. So on Monday, I had said to my husband, hey, you know, why don't I let you have a time, a day of the week, whatever it is, where you can stay and work. My husband works from home. My husband's actually in the room. Say hi, husband.
Hi.
He is over there working on boxes right now. My husband is a pop customizer. All of his information is down below. But he has been struggling to get enough time in during the day, and he doesn't like to take time away from like family time to work. So we both work over her nap time. And after she goes to bed. If anybody is curious what my high-tech system is here, I have baggies that have the numbers. I also have, these are the labels. This is from Diamond Art Club. The labels that come pre-cut, they're great for kitting up with, but they peel off more easily than the ones you had to cut. So, some of them you'll notice, like, I'll have numbers written on them. And then I literally empty my container into a drill tray, and I pour it right into the bag. And currently I'm just putting them in a pile because I'm too lazy to put them into my storage system. So I had said to my husband, why don't you let me take her? It can be for the day, for the morning, for a couple hours, whatever, so that he can have uninterrupted work. So we did that on Monday. And Monday she had occupational therapy in the morning, which she has every other Monday. And then speech, which she has every Monday, although we have an IEP meeting this week and I have a feeling that's going to change. So we'll see. But excuse me, we had a lot of discussions on like potty training routines and implementing a rewards chart. And I don't know, I'm a little bit torn on how I feel about rewarding her. Okay, so the OT doesn't want us to reward her for like going to the bathroom. She wants us to reward her for telling us she has to go or willingly sitting on the potty and things like that. And I think there's merit behind it, but I have a kid who's really anxious. And I think that if she visually sees that like this day she had 3 stars and then the next day she only gets 1 star, that is actually going to do more harm than good. So we'll see how that goes. So, okay, when I was at speech, so my daughter does her speech through the IU, the intermediate unit, which I don't know what it's called everywhere else, but here the IU is the 3 to, right before they go to kindergarten, ages 3 to kindergarten. And it's paid for by the school district. It is teachers in your county or specialists in your county, and you have to qualify for it. So our speech pathologist, she's absolutely fantastic. She's based out of a church. She doesn't work for the church, but she just has like an office space in the church. So that's where we go. So I was there, and there was this guy in, like, I was sitting here, and then like literally the wall behind me is the wall to the women's room. And dude was like grunting and making very, very weird noises. And I was like, SOS. I sent a couple of people text messages and I was like, I don't know what's going on here, but this is very weird. My kid's only there for, it's a half hour. So it's like a 25-minute session and then like 5 minutes with the parents. So now I'm just writing the numbers on the bags. Very official. And I'm laying them out and then, I'll fill them. I just did the wrong one first though. So, if you see me like looking everywhere and you're seeing like the side profile, that's why. So, that was super weird and super uncomfortable. And then I took her to Duncan and she loves going with me and she felt, I think it made her feel special, even though we do it every week after speech, because it's like 2 minutes down the road. Which, let me get a sip of water real quick. My cup is yellow, matches my shirt. Where am I? So we did that, and then I took her with me to my chiropractor's office. And she's funny. The chiropractor gave her one of those plastic spider rings. And she's like, Dr. Jen gave me a ring. I was like, cool. She's like, Dr. Jen didn't give you a ring. No, she did not, Brian. But she was a trip. And then I see it's like their rehab specialist, I guess. She teaches me like stretches and exercises. Where do my baggies go? I need to order more. Like, ooh, I'm running low. I hope that I have enough for this kit. That would suck. How much would that suck if I was sitting here kidding up with you guys and I just ran out of baggies? Let's hope that's not the case. Anyway, so I did that. And I had to do these like stretches on the floor. And Briar was like laying on the floor with me. You know, she's like limber as a cucumber. Is that even a phrase? I don't know. She's just all over the place. Like I had to do this thing where you lay on your back and then you put your knees up in the air and then you let your legs fall to the left for 15 seconds and then fall to the right. My whole daughter's like, whole body's go over. She's something else, but it was funny. She kept saying to me like, that girl. And I said, Briar, if you don't know somebody's name, you can always ask them. And I think she was just like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to say. But I got strapped to, I go on a decompression table for 12 minutes each time I'm there. And the point is they're trying to decompress my lower spine because I have, the middle of my spine is great. The top up by my neck is like super crunched together. And actually instead of like the curve going backwards, the curve is actually like leaning forward. And she's like, so I call that crafter's neck. And I was like, that's me. And then the bottom of my spine is super, super compressed because of, that's where the sciatica pain is coming from that I've been dealing with. Which if you guys are new and you're like, what are you talking about? I've been dealing with some like horrific sciatica to the point that like it's debilitating and stops me dead in my tracks. So, but being strapped to a table and having a 3-year-old in the room with you, and I'm like, Briar, I need you to stay in my line of sight. Like if I'm laying like this, I can literally only see to the sides, my peripheral. So she stands like directly behind me, and I'm reading a book to her while I'm strapped to a table. It was quite a sight. And then what do we do after that? Oh, we went to Walmart, which I love how this kid says Walmart. But we went to Walmart to grab a few additional things for our costumes. We went and did family costumes this year. We've actually done family costumes every year that we've had a child, except for last year. We didn't do anything for Halloween because, with COVID, we didn't feel comfortable taking her. I'm not even sure how many people around here were like giving stuff away, but that's a story for another day. But we walked past like their little fabric and yarn section. I was looking for Rit dye. The regular Rit dye was over by like their craft stuff, which is where like the scrapbooking and that kind of stuff is. Not in the same aisle, but the same section. But the Rit dye for synthetic fabrics, which is what I needed, was over in the section that had the fabric and the yarn and stuff like that. And Briar got so excited. She's like, oh my God, they have chunky yarn. This kid loves her chunky yarn. I've yet to make anything with the chunky yarn I have, but it's coming. So I'm excited for that. What else do we do? I took her to get lunch, and we were in the parking lot, and I said, well, do you think we should see if Daddy wants to go get lunch with us? She's like, Daddy can come with us. And I was like, okay, what do you want for lunch? She goes, pickles. I said, okay. She goes, no, just pickles. I said, well, I love you, kid, but you can't eat just pickles for lunch, which, try telling a toddler that they can't have the one thing that they say they want. Of course, side note, she did end up having a pickle with her lunch, didn't even touch it, so. But we picked up Daddy, and sorry, if you guys hear me calling my husband Daddy in things, it's not in like a hey Daddy kind of way. It's the,
like your daddy.
No, it's not like that. It's like my daughter calls him Daddy, and if I call him Brian, then she starts calling him Brian. Like if you ask her what Daddy's name is, she'll say Daddy. If you ask her what Mommy's name is, she'll say Lindsay. So, there's that. But we went just, like a little shop. They have like sandwiches and stuff like that. They have pretty good food. Usually everyone that's in there is like 65 or older. And we went later in the day, and I was shocked to see how many seniors were eating lunch at like 1 o'clock in the afternoon. But we went, and she had a little bit of a meltdown. And so I took her outside to help her, like, we co-regulated. And there was like a metal crane in a flower pot. And she's like, hi, Birdie. I love you, Birdie. You're my friend, Birdie. And like talking to this bird. And then she's like, all right, Birdie, I have to go back inside now. I'll see you next time, okay? And I was just like, it was super sweet. It was also like, this kid is like real life, so Snow White. She doesn't even care if it's a real animal or not. But it was funny. So we did that. And then she got a bath that night and somehow managed to get syrup in her hair like 10 minutes after she got out of the bath. I was like, cool. Thanks, kid. Does anybody else who has a child or who had a small child at some point in their life, like, am I the only one, or does every kid get like food in their hair all the time? Like the reason my hair is up is because when I eat, my hair is up, because I don't want to eat my hair. And my daughter, we're not going to talk about it, but she actually does eat her hair, which I should probably bring that up to the OT. My hair, I took a shower earlier today, and I put it up in my messy bun. Like, I got, like, chunks of hair missing here. It's whatever. We're rolling with it. Totally lopsided, but I got a crown on, so, But yeah, she, like, always has stuff in her hair. I'm like, how is it humanly possible to have this much hair? Food in your hair. Anyway, so, side note. But, Tuesday, we took her ice skating, and there's a little boy in her class who he's been there since she started. He's been there since before she started. And every time she's like, I really like him. And we see her talking to him. We're like, does he answer you? And she's like, no. And so his grandmother is usually the one who brings him. She's like, he's a man of very few words. So as soon as the session ended, the two of them were like running around together. They were holding hands and chasing each other. And I was like, I don't know who this kid is, but apparently she got him out of his shell today. So they were super cute. And then we usually end up going out to eat lunch after ice skating because she's usually hungry. By the time we get out of the rink and back in the car, it's usually like 11:15 in the morning. I would hope that's obvious. But so she goes to me, Mommy, I want to go to the real Taco Bell. And I'm like, what? And then I thought about it. And then I'm like, oh, you want to go? We have an authentic Mexican restaurant that we go to. And that's exactly where she wanted to go. And she's funny. She loves... Are you guys team cilantro or not? Because Briar is like fistfuls of cilantro she'll eat at a time. I like cilantro, but if I eat too much of it, it tastes like soap. Brian, you like cilantro.
Love cilantro.
But not the way she does. Nobody eats...
I do.
Do you?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, all right. I eat parsley the way they eat cilantro. Yeah, I could eat like a pound of parsley just as is. We actually went to a baby shower.
Spice of life. I always say cilantro is
the
spice of life.
We went to a baby shower years ago. The little girl is older than Briar. And they had an herb garden. And they were like, if anybody wants any herbs, let us know. And I was like, I will take whatever parsley you have. And they put it in a Ziploc bag. It was gone completely in 2 days. So there's that. So we did that. And then what did we do? We watched Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. I had never seen that movie. It was cute. Although, I don't know how I feel about let's perpetuate the fact that girls have to dumb themselves down. Like, that was part of the premise of the movie, so, spoiler alert. There's a drill stuck in here. Yes. Oh, no, it just fell. Disregard. She liked it. I thought she was going to like it more than she did, but she liked it. And then what did we do? Oh, cool. Okay, so I had put a post up in my local moms group on Facebook on Tuesday. And I said, does anybody know of anywhere around here that does like a knitting crochet circle? I've really been enjoying doing crochet, and I would like to meet other people who are really into fiber arts. My issue, quote unquote, I've come to the realization that I'm not really going to find a lot of mom friends based off of, like, my kid and her. Like, the kids we have ice skating with, for example, like, we don't connect with outside of the rink, if that makes any sense. And I used to go to a breastfeeding support group. I'm not going to talk about this for a long time because I know it's not of interest to a lot of people. But there were people who were, peers. Kids the same age, similar in age, things like that. But the problem was, they would get to a point where, like, nobody wanted to connect. And I had a kid with health issues. And it just turned into... These are out of order. Let's fix that. This is what drives me nuts. Symbol 1 is number 5. So let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So anyway, I've gone through a lot in terms of like having and trying to maintain mommy friends. But once the pandemic hit, thank you, fan. By the way, in case anyone just saw that, yes, it did suck my shirt into it. Yes, it has done it to my hair. No, I don't appreciate it. But I've had issues where, it's just, especially with the pandemic and us not doing any social activities for so long, and my kid not being in preschool, a lot of the connections I had kind of dwindled, and it's really unfortunate because I would love for my daughter to have more play dates and things like that. Obviously, things that are safe for my kid are my top priority, but anyway, that's a whole long rant. So I figured if I could find camaraderie with people who are like-minded, who are into similar crafts, like, it may not help my daughter's social schedule, but it might help me. which is, I think, why I love the Instagram community so much. I have so many people that I talk to on a regular basis. Like Leona and Maria, I talk to them every single day. Miranda, every single day I talk to these women. And, like, I talk to Knox all the time. Like, there's a lot of people that I regularly talk to. And it's great to have those connections. But it's also great to have, like, in person. And I posted in my Facebook group, as I said. And somebody said, oh, yeah, I saw this in another local page. Let me grab the information. It ended up being the very first night of a knitting circle. It was in a church rec room. I don't know what to call it. And I went, and it turns out it was the very first one for the church. And I loved it. I sat at the table, coincidentally. None of us knew this at the time. That was the table of people who were there to crochet. And so that was really nice. I'm going to go back. I would like to make this a regular or semi-regular thing. Although it's funny, my husband said to me, that was on Mondays, right? I was like, no, it's Tuesdays. Why? And he's like, oh, man, because this week one of his buddies asked him to meet up for a drink after work. And he's like, I think I'm free. And I was like, that is the day of my knitting circle. And he's like, oh, man. So we'll figure that out. Should I just put... I'm losing my mind, you guys. Look, this part is much easier because I'm... What?
Losing.
Mm-hmm. But anyway, I'm over here. Hot Mess Express. If you guys have ever been here for any length of time, you know that everything about me and my life is just choo-choo. Although I guess that would be truck driver arm and not choo-choo. So...
No, I think train does the same thing.
Do they? Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, we did that, and I had a really wonderful time. And of course, since then, I have not touched any of my crochet stuff because I've just been busy scrambling, trying to get other things taken care of. But we'll get back to it. Actually, I will be working on a project tomorrow because I'll take my stuff with me when we go to speech. I like that crochet is a portable craft. Not that diamond painting can't be. And if you haven't seen it, I'll go ahead and link the diamond painting on the go video. There's a lot of static in this container, so sorry if the eyeballs are down. But when you're working on canvases that are larger, it's not really worth it to take it with me and set it up for 25 minutes. But in 20 minutes, I can get a decent amount done on a crochet pattern. So, where am I? So, I did that Wednesday, guys, Wednesday, what a day. Wednesday, we took our daughter to see her GI doctor, who she has not seen since she had her endoscopy over the summer. Basically, we're just staying the course. She's super tiny. She's always been super tiny. To put things into perspective, like I said to you guys, my daughter is almost 4. She'll be 4 next month. She is not yet 30 pounds. So close, but not there yet. And I was talking to one of our mothers, and they're like, oh, well, at least she's not underweight. I'm like, oh, no. She's grossly underweight. But nobody's concerned about it because she's always been grossly underweight and has stayed on her curve. She's never dipped. It's funny because there's one number on there that somebody must have misentered because like her chart's like this and literally like there's one up here. It's like off the chart and then it comes right back down. And everybody who looks at it says, okay, this must have been a mistake somewhere, which when they put it in, I remember being like, that wasn't accurate at all.
I think they may have put a wrong age
or something.
Or
I think they swapped the first number. So like instead of saying like...
Or put her height in for her
Yeah,
weight.
whatever it was.
Yeah.
But, so my daughter mainly hovers between like 4 and 9% for weight. And then a little bit higher for height. And then once you put the height for the weight, she usually drops off the chart. We have been below the charts for everything before. We've been failure to thrive. Like we've been like negative 2%, which I'm like, at that point, doesn't that become the new 0? But we're doing good. He wants us to just keep on track with everything we've been doing. So we will. Let me see what else here. We're still working on our meds. So we went to... Do you guys know what Dave & Buster's is? I know that they are in multiple places, but I don't know if they're like all over the country or if they're international at all. It is a giant arcade. They also have a full restaurant. I don't know if every location does, but they used to have, like years ago, it was called an Eat and Play combo where you would get a $10 card to play and your meals, like it would be part of it. And don't mind me here. I'm going to grab, actually, I'm just going to pull these out here. Anyway, it's a huge arcade. And the one we have is inside of a mall. Which, whoa there. I'm trying to do all of this and talk at the same time. So if you're wondering why I seem like I'm very clueless and all over the place, that's why. So they've got a lot of games that are not like age appropriate for toddlers, but like flashing lights and blinking sounds and all these things. We have taken her before. We've taken her once before. It's actually inside of a local mall here. I mean, it has its own entrance, but you can go into the mall from it. So it's super cool. So if anyone's curious what I'm doing now, I'm just taking, these are all small amounts, and I am just cutting them one by one right now. Ooh, I just hit the camera. And then I will put these into the drill containers, and I will put the stickers. I don't know why that was the symbol for, I guess I was trying to do this. Anyway. If you guys roll your eyes at me, just know that I roll my eyes at me too. So, anyway, we pull up. We didn't tell her where we were going. Her new thing right now is, I want to eat at a restaurant. But the problem is, most of the time, her behavior is not conducive of eating in a restaurant. So, if you saw, I want to say it was my last whip and chat, as Lori, One Fun Diamond Painter, referred to her as Mrs. Eyes. We had a little bit of a run-in with a lady who had a problem that my daughter wasn't on her absolute best behavior, but she's a toddler and she has to learn. So we took her, my husband took her, did not tell her where we were going or what we were doing, just knew that she, quote unquote, wanted to go eat at a restaurant. So we did. And we pulled up and she's like, oh, it's the place with the games. And we're like, how did you know this? Mind you, my kid is rear facing in a car seat. So it's not like she could see the sign. You know what I mean? Like
completely different way.
And yeah, exactly. We came in a different way than we came the last time. So I have no idea. Sorry if I got real close there.
Never come in
no. And it just amazes my husband and I that somebody that she knows. Girl, she knows. And it really, really blows my mind. So I'm going to just lay a couple here out and get a couple stickers at a time. So we did that, and then we went inside and we ate, which they have a pretzel dog, and I like hot dogs. I like pretzels. Both of those things are good. I am not a mustard person. They have this sriracha mustard, and it is so good. I only want a little bit because it does have a nice kick to it. Which, total tangent here. My daughter loves Flaming Hot Cheetos. Like, loves them. But anything that has, like, mild heat to it, she's like, it's so hot. I'm like, no, it's not. You ate a bag full of Cheetos and didn't even bat an eye. Like, knock it off, fan. So, anyway, we did that. We played a couple games. It was fun. Sometimes, like, we'll put the, you have all your coins and credits and whatnot on a digital card. And so you have to swipe it instead of putting coins in. So, my nose itches, sorry. We would swipe it for like one player on a 2-player game. And so she would think she was playing with us. Which, there's nothing wrong with that. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. It's no different than giving your kid like a duck hunt gun when it's not plugged in. I really just aged myself there. It's okay. It's okay, Lindsay. It's okay. So we played some games. And And my husband thought this would be a great way for her to, like, burn some energy. We played Sonic and Mario at the Summer Olympics. Now, I love that game as a DS game. And it was one of those games, like, that required you to, like, run and jump and push buttons. You guys, I got it in such a workout. I loved it, though. I loved it. My daughter, my husband would be like, jump, Briar, jump. And she would just stand there. And then, of course, as soon as it was over, she'd be like, jump. I'm like, no, you were supposed to jump. I picked her up like 2 or 3 times. It was so much fun, you guys. I had a great time at Dave & Buster's with her. And in case anyone's curious, does it ever wear my kid out? No. The answer is no. My child has energy for days and days and days. It never stops. From the moment she wakes up to the moment she goes to bed, those eyeballs, as if they're open, girl is go, go, go. So, you know, I love when people are like, you guys seem tired. Yeah, we are. Because she sucks all the energy from us. I love when my mother-in-law will say that, like, oh, you guys are yawning. You sound tired. Yeah, we are tired. Well, you guys should go to bed earlier. Oh, okay. This is the only time we have that's, like, child-free. So, I don't know what my husband's watching in the background. Hopefully it, oh my God. If you guys are, like, emptying your drills and you have, like, one drill that's stuck in there, do you try to coax it out or do you just let it go? Depends on how many are in there. Like, if it's a bag with a lot, I'll be like, yeah, whatever. But if it's a bag with a little, I feel like I can't waste it. Am I alone? Let me know down below. So, we did that. What else did we do? We had some lunch, played some games, and then my husband was playing basketball. Like, he wasn't playing basketball. He was playing the basketball game. And somehow, I don't know how it happened, but a basketball hit her in the face. And then she shut down and was like, ooh. We're like, what happened? Like, neither one of us saw it, and we were both right there. But then she told me she got hit in the face, and I'm like, my guess is she tried to throw the ball, and the ball bounced back and hit her because she's not...
the ball come back over the thing and hit. I think that's what happened.
Oh, do you? Okay. Yeah. Well, so let's blame my husband instead of the baby. Look, I was trying to blame the baby here. But, we did that. And then I had another chiropractor appointment. If you guys are like, oh my God, you go to the chiropractor a lot. So I'm on like a treatment plan right now where I am going 3 times a week for a couple weeks. And then I go 2 times a week for a couple weeks. And then I go once a week for a couple weeks. And then I just do maintenance if need be. So, we knew we had a very short window of time. And we needed to dye my husband's Halloween costume. Now, if you guys have ever used RIT dye, you probably have far more experience with this than I do. But the synthetic version said it had to be done on the stovetop. Now, we were using a poly cotton blend. I could have probably gotten away without using the one that was the synthetic. However, our Walmart, the non-synthetic version only had 3 colors. So, none of them were what I needed. So, I ended up having to get that simply because of the color. And I watched a video on YouTube, as we all do when we don't know how to do something. And I was like, okay, I think this will work. And then I got home and I was like, in execution, the items of clothing that we have, I think, are too large for our pot. We've got one, like, stock pot. I was right. And not only was it too big, or the pot was too small and the clothing was too big, but we had 2 items of clothing, and I was like, this is not going to work. And also, I don't want to ruin, like, our one good, like, dinner pot, you know what I mean? So we have one of these plastic, like, beverage tubs that you would put, like, ice and, like, your beer cans or soda cans in and stuff like that for parties. We got a couple of them forever ago, super cheap, for a party, and then we didn't end up needing it, but they were already there. We're like, well, we'll just hang on to them. We'll need them in the future for something. Apparently, this was the thing we needed it for. So my husband had 2 pots of water boiling on the stovetop. And we poured those into the tub. So the way RIT dye works, if you guys have never used it, is you blend it with water, very, very hot water. And because there was cotton in ours, we needed a squirt of dish soap. And then you submerge the items in it. And you're supposed to sit there for a half hour and just stir it over and over and over and over. So we did that, and I'm looking at the time, and I'm like, we knew we had a very limited window of time to do this before I had to leave for my doctor's appointment. And like, my husband has other things to do, not just like sit around and like dye sweatpants. But we did it, and I was like, I don't think, because it was a very dark brown, and we needed it to be like a lighter brown color, which, like, honestly, neither one of us cared. As long as it was brown, we didn't care if it was like dark brown, light brown, kind of brown. Like, as long as it was brown, we didn't care. You know what I mean? And we took it out, and then the hardest part for me was, so you have to rinse it in the sink or in a water vessel, whatever, until the water runs clear. Well, I'm using, like, I think it's a 4X sweatshirt and 2X pants or 3X pants. We kind of got what we could. My husband and I each got a full white sweatsuit for our Halloween costumes. His required dye, mine required a fabric marker. But we just kind of made the best with what we had. And it worked. You guys, it worked. I was able to rinse it out enough, and then my husband just finished up. One of the pieces was totally fine, and the other still was like running like a little brown. If you guys are hearing the noise in the background, my husband is packing up some orders. If you have ever ordered from my husband, he always has cool swag. So that's what's currently happening over there. Or as my daughter would go, cream and sugar over there. That was from our Baltimore trip. Which, if I can remember, I'll link that whip and chat up in the eye. Or if I can find it, I should say. But anyway, we did that. And then I went to my chiropractor appointment. And where was I? I was having like really, really, really bad sciatica pain that day. And the chiropractor, I had told her. And she did this thing where she like basically like pulled my leg out. And I was like, oh, I do not like this. And then as soon as it was done, I was like, oh, okay, that feels much better. This week has not been a good week in terms of like me in pain. So, you know, there's always that. But I did that. And then what else do we do? After I got home, my husband and my daughter finished decorating their pumpkins. If you guys follow my husband on Instagram, which if you don't, you should be, he put up a reel with his pumpkin. He painted 4 totally different things on his pumpkin. It was super, super cool. And then my daughter just painted a pumpkin. You know, like it was not like art involved. It was just
It's like Galaxy. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I like it.
It was cool, but she didn't understand the concept. We've had this conversation with her before about, like, if you're going to do the dark colors, do the dark colors first, because then she'll put them on top of all the light colors, and then they all blend together, or they all turn into that one dark color, and then she gets upset. Which, I mean, you know, I would too. I totally get it, but still. So, we did that, and then we had to go back to Walmart. We live really close to a Walmart, but we had to go back to Walmart to grab a few more things. We needed felt. Felt was one of the things I had forgotten, and we needed that to make our ears. And then I had promised her that if she did a good job at Walmart, we would pick up some activity books. I like to get, not coloring books, but books that have like activities that she can do. You know, like not connect the dots, but like matching, or, you know, the dry erase books. Those are great. They're great to go in the car, the diaper bag, whatever. We can travel with them. They're very easy entertainment. They're very easy to take and go with you. You don't really have to worry about anything other than just bring it with you. So she did get that. And then we went over to the bakery section to get a couple baked goods. And I always laugh. There was a couple in there, And the girl was dressed like she was going to a club, which you're at Walmart. But then she was wearing sunglasses. And I was like, I don't understand the sunglasses inside of a place, especially at Walmart. Like, who are you trying to impress? I mean, she was there with her girlfriend. So, like, I imagine that her girlfriend doesn't need much impressing or they wouldn't still be dating. But that's neither here nor there. So, I'm gonna shift around a couple drill containers here. Where am I? So, we did that. What else did we do? Oh, and I ended up getting, like, a bunch of these activity books. We've tried going to, like, the dollar store. One of the dollar stores. Dollar Tree, Dollar General, I don't know. The dollar store. I remember back in my day, all dollar stores were $1. Now there's some dollar stores that they're, like, dollar increments. Where you can get things for, like, $1, $5, $10. And I'm like, I always end up going to the one that's that when I'm thinking I'm going to a dollar store where everything is $1 or 99¢. But I digress. But we got a couple of those books because we've been looking for a while. And we have a couple that we got online. If you have little ones, they have the Don't Touch the series at Target, like Never Touch a Dinosaur. And it's got rubber and silicone on each page. There's something to touch. But they turn those into activity books. But they're like $15 each. And she just loves when they have the stickers in the back of the book and like the empty picture that you match it to. She really loves those kinds of activities. But some of them are just like, here's a coloring book basically with a crap ton of stickers. And then you're like, but that's not what she likes. Not that it's the manufacturer's responsibility to make something that my daughter likes. It just makes it more difficult for us as parents to find what it is that she's looking for. As you two would say, I still haven't found what I'm looking for. And I still haven't found what she's looking for. Anyway. And then Texas Roadhouse is like in the same parking lot. So we picked up Roadhouse for dinner. And that was delightful. I'm trying to see. So how are we on time? Okay. So that was our Wednesday. And then Thursday, when I went back to the chiropractor, girl, I got a workout. They worked me out. You guys, I was doing planks on the floor and doing all these other things. And I'm like, well, now I know, like, don't be coming to the chiropractor's office in something cute. Like, wear something that you can maneuver in. Which, like, let's face it, I'm not out there dressing, like, cute. I mean, I got cute small shop tops and, like, jeans and stuff like that, but I'm not out there, like, you know, rocking my peplums and my leather skirts anymore. I mean, sometimes.
You're not wearing your sunglasses into the chiropractor?
I mean, I do wear my sunglasses into the chiropractor, and then I put them on the top of my head, and you move from room to room, and the one day I left the chiropractor's office, and I made it to the parking lot before I realized I didn't have my sunglasses. I am one of those people, I have very light eyes. For some reason, they look very dark in the viewfinder right now. Spoiler alert, my eyes are definitely not this dark. So I am very sensitive to light, so I always have sunglasses, and like, if I have to go outside for anything and I don't have sunglasses, I don't like it. So, I just bought a spare pair off of Amazon to keep in the car because my other spare pair disappeared. And then I couldn't find my primary pair. So, if you're picking up what I'm putting down, that was not a fun time. Anyway, so what did I do? And then I talked to my brother for like an hour and a half. My brother had his birthday last week. And I called him and he didn't answer. So he called me a couple days later. And look, my brother lives across the country. I have not seen him since pre-pandemic. And even then, like, I don't see him very often because he lives so far away. So my brother called and I got a call from an out-of-state number. And I was like, I wonder if that's my brother. I wasn't 100% sure. I didn't want to answer it. I don't answer. Look, if you call me and I don't have your number saved in my phone, I'm not answering it. If it's important, you'll leave me a voicemail or you'll text me and say, hey, answer your phone. It's so-and-so. And, like, my mom's the opposite. My mom, like, her house could be on fire. And she's like, I still have to answer the phone. No, you don't, Mom. No, you don't. So anyway, I talked to my brother, and my daughter, for some reason, the whole time she kept saying, instead of calling him Uncle Noah, she was like, hey, sweetie, how are you doing, sweetie? What are you up to today, sweetie? And he's like, is she calling me sweetie? And I'm like, yep. Don't know where that came from. I don't call her sweetie. I call her sweetheart, but I don't know where the sweetie came from. And it has gone away. That was literally the only time we heard that ever. Listen, when you have a 3-year-old calling you sweetie, it just makes you giggle. Although, I call her ma'am, so I ma'am her all the time. And my brother was like, did you just ma'am her? And I was like, sure did. I feel like if I ma'am her when she's little, when she's a little bit older, she won't be offended by it. I don't know. That's not my reasoning behind it. But, I mean, wouldn't it be great if I was like, the wheels are turning in my head, and this is why I call my daughter ma'am. I will say we've been in many, many public situations where I have ma'amed her, and I've had, like, the crazy head whip because people thought I was, like, calling them ma'am, or, like, saying, like, gonna call an employee out. That happened to us in the pharmacy section at Target the one day, and the girl, she was probably, like, 19, and she thought I was calling her ma'am, and I saw her whip her head around so quickly, and she just gave me a dirty look until she realized that I was not talking to her. Indeed, I was talking to the tiny human in my shopping cart. And she was like, oh, I'm so sorry. And I was like, oh, I'm sorry. I was talking to her. And she's like, I thought you were talking to me, and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh, okay. Are you okay? Because I was saying to my daughter, like, ma'am, are you okay? And I guess this woman just thought I was, you know, being this obnoxious person until she realized. You could tell she was super embarrassed by it, too. And I was like, girl, it's totally fine. Like, don't worry about it. But ooh. Sometimes I feel like I have to concentrate on more things than others. So, where am I? And she was asking me, like, what bones were. And I was like, this is a weird conversation. I was like, it's the hard things inside your body, and then there's skin and tissue and muscle on top of it. It's like what a skeleton is. And she's like, oh, okay. Which, oddly enough, on Friday when she had her head teacher, they did an exercise about bones and skeletons. So I was like, perfect timing. But, what else do we do? We finished our costumes, and on Thursday, we went trick-or-treating. If I can link the little video that I made, it's a short that I put up on YouTube. I will link that up in the eye. If not, I'll just put, I don't think I have a photo of, I don't have a photo of all of us. I have a photo of my husband and I, so at the very least, I'll throw that in. It's super weird. I don't understand how, like, Facebook, YouTube, and, like, the algorithms work. That video, at the time of this recording, has over 1,400 views. I don't know why. I don't know. Have you ever had just something go, like, viral for you, and you don't know why? Because I've got one on Instagram that has over 74,000 views, and I don't know why. I don't know how it got to that point. I don't know who these people are that are seeing it. It must have been on somebody's For You page. I just spilled a whole bunch of drills. I still have no idea why that was the one that took off. It's there. Anyway. The whole thing is strange to me. I don't know. Like, there's certain videos, and this is not, like, me, like, complaining about things. This is just me sharing with you guys. People say to me all the time, like, oh my God, I love small shop hauls. They're my favorite. And then when I put them up, nobody watches them. And I'm like, this is why I don't make many of them, because I spend the time and the effort to make the videos, you know, do all the work behind the scenes. And then nobody watches that. So I'm like, whatever. But I'll continue to put those up. I just put one up, so I'll link that up in the eye for you guys. I think I should be good. If you guys use, these are the Elizabeth Ward. Most of these are probably the knockoff Elizabeth Ward. But sometimes you get to that point in the chain of drills where you're like, are they still going to be able to fit in this size container, or do I need to move up? But I don't want to move up if I don't have to. You know what I mean? Nah, I mean. So let's test out this baby. Testing. 1, 2, 3. I feel like I have to sneeze. Where am I? Oh, so we went trick-or-treating. Thursday was our trick-or-treat. And our neighborhood was super lively, which is really surprising. We had a family that had those inflatable dinosaur costumes. If you've never seen them, go look them up. They're hilarious. And Briar saw them, and she was like, oh my God, there's real dinosaurs. Look at them walking. And we kept pace with them for a while. So it was great. It was fantastic. We had so much fun. She did really, really good. I was very, very impressed with her. You never know how kids are going to react to Halloween and decorations and trick-or-treating and all of the, additional stimuli that they're not normally dealing with. She did great. I was really impressed. We went for like an hour and a half, which, guys, when I got home, I was like, I'm ready for bed. But alas, I did not go to bed. We were both tired. We had a good time. My daughter got a pretty good haul. We took our mommy tax and our daddy tax. She doesn't seem to love chocolate a whole lot, which is great for me because I do. But we did that. And then we went to the neighborhood across the street, and like, they are a gold mine there. And like, to the fact that people were like bussing in all the streets heading in and out of that neighborhood were like lined with cars of people who, let's not fall out of my hair, tiara, who brought their families in from somewhere else. My husband has a cousin that lives in the development across the street from us, and he was saying like last year they didn't even hand out candy, but it was great this year. There were so many houses, so many decorations. There's a house that my daughter can see from her window. Her window is on the back side of our house, and it faces the cross street. And this house has all these inflatables, like this giant stack of pumpkins. And she got there, and her eyes got really big because she's like, I can see them up close. And she was on the porch talking to the owner of the house, and then she tripped the cord and knocked the whole thing out, and all of the inflatables started like, "Arr." And she's like, and I was like, oh crap. Now they quickly plugged it back in, but you guys, it was amazing. She had so much fun, and Halloween 2021 was a success. We'll do it again next year. So what else do we do? Friday we went to had her head teacher, I don't know what to call her, come to our house. And where's my chain O-drills? I'm trying to see if I can still get some in the small containers before I have to move up. So we're just going to keep trying. Anyhow, she came to the house. They did their little skeleton exercise. It was great. It was a good day. We went to Mission Barbecue again for lunch. I feel like I've said this before, but if it sounds like we go to Mission a lot, we do, because when it's nice enough outside, there's patio seating. We can sit out there. It is easy. It has food that we can all eat. And it's right by like a lot of shopping. So we'll do that on days that we have to do like a Target run or something like that, because it's right there. And we did go to Target. And so it's funny because my daughter has 2 days. It's today and yesterday. Today could be like a week ago. Like, she could be like, today we went to Target. No, we went to Target a week ago. And or like, she'll be talking and she'll be like, Grandma, yesterday I went to Target. And it's like, no, we went to, like, it just makes me giggle every time. But I had a moment where I had horrific sciatica to the point that I could not walk. I could not stand. I saw a step stool, like a little step ladder across the way. And I was like, that's it. I was like, if I can get over there. Nope, this color. I'm going to have to move to the next size. If I can get to that step stool, I can sit on it. I can get the pressure off my leg, all these things. And we did. And Briar was, you could see she was, I think she was, part of her was scared because she didn't know exactly what was going on. But for a kid who doesn't normally pay much attention to things, or I don't even know how else to say it. She was there for me. And I needed her to, you know, not freak out and to be okay while mommy was in pain. And we ended up rewarding her by getting her a My Little Pony toy that was like $8. And it's a hard plastic My Little Pony on roller skates. Like, they're like Barbie shoes, but they're for this pony. And she's super into it. And I'm like, all right, so there we go. But she would want, even if I didn't offer it. You know what I mean? She wants everything. My mom called the other day, was like, her birthday's coming up, and I was like, okay. And she's like, I don't want her to hear this. And I was like, I'll take you off a speakerphone. And so I was talking to my mom, and she's like, what does she want for her birthday? And I'm like, everything. And my mom laughed. I'm like, no, like, I'm serious. Like, she literally wants everything for her birthday. And she's like, oh. And I'm like, Mom, she doesn't need anything, but if she needs something, I'll let you know. Ooh, this is nice. You guys ever hear that audio on the reels? Look at this washi tape. I'm going to put this on a couple of these containers. Anyway, so she did really good, and she was rewarded because of that. Because in that moment, that's exactly what I needed. But it sucks. My kid is at that point now where we have to start sizing up things because she needs the length because she's taller. But then nothing fits her in the width. So I tried on this raincoat that was a 3T, which is mostly what she's wearing right now. And, like, it was great and everything, but it was, like, the second she raised her arms, it was, like, to the middle of her rib cage. And I was like, that's not going to work. And they didn't have the next size. So we ended up having to order it off of the Target website, which I don't understand. Like, certain things they won't ship unless you have $35 for the product in your cart. But, anyway, what was I talking about? Target. But we started, set the day. Saturday we went to Pumpkin Glow, which is a pumpkin display that they have at the Hershey Gardens, which is near Hershey Park. It is in Hershey, Pennsylvania. And they used to do it where it was completely outdoors, and then you walk, like, the paths of where all of the plants and all the, like, the stuff is, and you get to see the pumpkins. And this year they've made accommodations. Apparently they did it like this last year, I think. We didn't go last year, but we've gone the previous 2 years. And it was great, but I didn't realize how much of it was still going to be outside. And we got stuck in their little tent, and we watched the professional pumpkin carver. And that was pretty cool. And then I got my little tattoo with my daughter. And then we were listening to story time. And I don't know the story of Sweeney Todd, but I'm pretty sure that's what the guy was telling. And it was very strange. And he was talking about a barber named Todd, and he was going into it. And I was like, you know, the rain's let up. You ready to go? And we did. And we went and checked out the kids area. They moved all of the glow stuff into, apparently it used to be a gift shop. I'm telling you guys, it looks like a mausoleum. And that's where we went. That's where we got to see the black light pumpkins and all that fun stuff. And then we had a funnel cake that was a confetti funnel cake. And you guys, it started out as a really rough morning. My daughter was being super ungrateful, and she wanted nothing to do with it. And she only wanted to see the butterflies, which they have a butterfly atrium, which we did go into as well. And then when we got there, my husband's like, what is your problem? Like, why are you in such a foul mood? And I was having a really hard time shaking her attitude from leading up to it. And then he's like, she's being really good right now. And I'm like, you know what? You're right. you're right. My issue with her is from her previous behavior, not her behavior at this exact moment. And I kind of changed course and we enjoyed the rest of the afternoon, and it was a lovely experience. And then I'm super rushing because I've already hit the hour mark because I got lost in my own stories. But today is Sunday. Today we got groceries, nothing exciting. And then we went to a trunk or treat, which is always exciting. Totally just threw the trash on my foot instead of on the floor. And now we're back home. My husband and I have been watching the Scream movies. We started out with Scream 1, did that in one night, and then Scream 2 we did over 2 nights. And then last night we finished Scream 2 and started Scream 3. So we'll finish Scream 3 tonight. Depending on how late we go, we'll also watch Scream 4. If we don't finish Scream 4 tonight, we'll finish Scream 4 probably tomorrow. So that's it. That was my week in review. I hope that you guys like that. I have an unboxing, a post review. What else do I have coming up? I believe, I'm going to do, another video that I've yet to film. And then I have another Woobles video for you guys. Like I said, the crochet bug has bit. I don't know why that's the biting sound. Let's also not talk about bugs biting, shall we? So I hope that you guys enjoyed this. If you like this face-to-face, super rambly kitten chat kind of thing, let me know. If you enjoyed this video and you'd like to see more videos just like this or nothing like this at all, please make sure to give this video 2 thumbs up. 1 real life, 1 virtual. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. Come, join the Sparkle Squad. And while you're there, hit that notification bell.
Yay!
I do not operate on any sort of schedule. I operate on toddler standard time, and I record on my tiny human sleeping or sleeping. Thank you guys so much for being here, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye, guys!